We're talking about four of the most important points of a Formula One car, particularly on qualifying and race days. And of course, that is the rubber, the tyres. They're the difference sometimes between first and second, as Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen have found out this season. And being on the right tyre at the right time can get you so many important World Championship and Constructors' Championship points. But what are the regulations? What is all the fuss about tyre compounds in Formula One? Here is a GPFans Special to explain all of that to you. Before we go any further, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with all that we do here at the channel. But now let's talk wearing that rubber. At the Turkish Grand Prix, Esteban Ocon managed to do something that no one has been able to do for 24 years. Finish a full race without making a single pit stop. The Frenchman drove 58 laps on the same set of intermediates, while the rest of the field came in at least once during the race. Although Pirelli strongly advised the teams to make a pit stop, Ocon managed to cross the line without too many problems. Although it has to be said that the race should not have lasted a lap longer because his tyres really were at the end of their rope. Finishing a race without making a pit stop is not allowed under normal circumstances, so what exactly are the tyre regulations in Formula One? Tyre supplier Pirelli has developed 7 different tyre types for F1. These are also called the compounds. 5 of the 7 compounds are suitable for dry weather, the other 2 are designed for wet conditions. The C1 is the hardest compound. This tyre lasts the longest, but it takes longer to warm up and is a lot slower than the other tyre types. The C2 is a bit softer. This still lasts a relatively long time, but provides just a little bit more grip. The C3 is the middle compound and offers a good balance between speed and durability. This is the most widely used tyre. As you can imagine, the C4 then has much more grip and heats up relatively quickly. As a result, it lasts a little bit less, but is faster. And no surprises that the C5 is the softest tyre, the fastest compound available. You could almost say that this is more of a qualifying tyre than a serious race tyre. Prior to each weekend, Pirelli chooses, based on the available data, which 3 compounds it will take to the Grand Prix. The softest compound gets red cheeks, the medium tyre gets yellow cheeks, and the hardest tyre gets white cheeks. This makes it immediately clear to the fans which tyre the drivers are using. The drivers will receive a total of 13 sets of dry tyres. Normally, the teams can choose how they want to distribute these between the types of compounds, but because of the pandemic, this has been done by Pirelli themselves for the past 2 seasons. In addition, the drivers will also receive 3 sets of the blue wets in case it rains heavily, and 4 sets of the green intermediates in case the track is in that transitional phase with the weather. The drivers who drop out during Q1 and Q2 will be given free tyre choice for the race on Sunday. The drivers who do make it to Q3 will have to start the race on the tyre which they set their fastest lap on in Q2. There is, however, one exception to this. If the qualification or the race is classified as a wet session by the race management, this obligation will be lapsed. You may remember, of course, in Austin that the top runners wanted to get their runs done on the medium tyre in Q2, so that would be the race tyre that they started with on Sunday before reverting back to that softest compound for Q3 and the sprint for the top 10. The driver must use 2 different types of dry tyres during each race. For example, a driver who starts on the soft tyre is obliged to switch to a medium or the hard compound at some point during the race. Again, rain races are the only exception to this. If a race is labelled as a rain race by the race management, the pit stop obligation lapses. A team may then choose to use the same tyre twice, as Max Verstappen did in Turkey, but may also choose not to pit stop at all, as Ocon did during the same race. The tyres are linked to a specific driver. You're not allowed to drive with your teammates' tyres. In the unlikely event that this does happen, such as George Russell during the Sakir Grand Prix in 2020, he will have to come in within 2 laps for a new set of his own tyres of the same specification. Failure to do so will result in penalties. So that's everything you need to know about the rubber in Formula One. Let us know what other specials you'd like to see us producing here at GPFans to give you more insight into everything that goes on in the sport. And of course, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with everything we do here at the channel.